Now, everyone on this channel knows I love a good deal, especially when I think the value is completely off the charts. And this is a knife that might be the highest value knife I've ever seen. So good, in fact, I went back and purchased another one and every variation of it. We have price points between $21 up to $35 and materials that include titanium, 14C 28N, and yeah, you're just gonna wanna take a look. This is one of the craziest things I've ever seen for a price point that just frankly shouldn't even exist. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Now I wanna say a big thanks to Stassa23 who showed me these knives in the first place. He's actually an amazing YouTuber that focuses primarily on knife gear. I will leave a link to his videos as well, but this is where I found these and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. And I went ahead and I purchased it and everything he said about it is basically true. We have 14C 28N in this knife, which is a fantastic blade steel in the budget realm. And you'll see knives with this steel up to that $80, sometimes even $100 price point. It's one of the best budget steels that you can get, if not maybe the best. It's arguable, but I think it's one of the better ones out there. You don't normally see it though at its low price point this low. Now this knife right here is the first one we're going to take a look at, is G10, actually a nice textured G10 in fact, and it is a 3.4 inch blade. This one actually came perfectly centered and it is a liner lock. It has a captured stop pin. Yeah, it has no stop pin in the back. It actually hides in underneath right there. You can see it right there, and actually all of them function that way. There's actually a cutout in the blade that pin goes through. So the actual stop pin goes through the blade, which is pretty different than what I'm expecting for something this price. And it has a compound grind. So it's thicker at the tip because it is flat ground, and then it's hollow ground down here. So you have an extra slicey blade. I mean, this is insane. And not only that, it's got good detent, like actual good detent. It has a nice shaped thumb stud as well. The jimping is excellent. The grip is amazing, and even the pocket clip is designed nicely. They've actually milled out a spot for that clip, and even though the screws are not flush, it's still quite good. The tab comes up a little higher than I'd like, but I mean, this is currently like, what is it, $24 on sale with a 10% little coupon code. That is insane for this price. Absolutely insane. And the action is good, by the way. On top of all of it, the action is insane. So I'm like, okay, that was not the first one I got. So I immediately purchased the titanium frame lock version. And as you can see, I've been carrying it. I need to clean it. But I was reminded when I carried this how much I enjoy a hollow ground blade. I really love the way a hollow ground blade cuts for EDC tasks. It's just so slicey. And yet I don't lose any of the strength in the tip with this knife. It's just absolutely fantastic. The other thing I noticed now that I have both of the variations, well, 3 variations, is that the frame lock version is also a little slimmer. So if you like it a little bit on the trimmer side, you can get that. Fits my hand perfectly, like perfect on this knife. And yes, I technically can choke up. It's not an easy one, but can be done. I really don't think it's designed for that. It's not a I mean, it does have kind of a sharpening choil, but it's a little bit thick right there. So not quite, it needs to kind of have this come out a little bit further, but still much better on this knife than I do see in a lot of knives of this price point. Very good. Now the first one I got had a detent that was a little bit too strong. No detent lash, no play up or down, side to side, nothing. So that's all good. But the second one, which I just got today, absolutely perfect. Like perfect detent on the flipper, perfect detent with the thumb stud, no issues, no lockup issues, no nothing. So this one, probably my favorite of the bunch by far, damn near perfect. I'm like nitpicking this knife the way I would a knife that is almost 10 times that cost. Like it's just amazing how good this knife is for the price. It's just blowing my mind. And then, of course, you would expect, oh, the carbon fiber, it's probably just, you know, carbon fiber overlaid G10, which is a lot of times what you see. No, you can see really clearly. You can see illustrations and the layering of the carbon fiber right there, and you can see as they cut it away, you can actually see the different layers of the carbon fiber itself. It is done incredibly well. They even rounded the corners very, very nicely. In fact, I would say this is probably the thickest and probably the most comfortable of the bunch. See that? You can see it's a little bit thicker handles. So thinnest, let me kind of do them in order. So the thinnest one is the titanium, and then you have the G10, and then you have the carbon fiber. These are the best value knives I've ever seen, like genuinely. I don't think, initially when Stassa23 tried these, he was like, there's no way it's 14C, and then he did all his testing, all his edge retention testing, all of that, and it's like, wow, this is actually really good. And so it's not 100% confirmed because you actually have to take a look at the metallurgy of the steel, but the heat treatment is on point. The edge, it holds a really good edge. And like, even had this been 9CR, it would have been an insane value, right? Even in an 8CR, it's not terrible. With these, it's not great, but not terrible. But in a titanium handle, it's insane for the price. The fact that we're getting a 14C, which is a top tier budget steel at this price point is, yeah, I'm not gonna keep talking about it. Let me just tell you, if you're looking for an inexpensive knife to give as a gift, that is someone who you know will actually carry an actual knife that wants something a little bit bigger, check one of these out. This is insane. It has a combination of different ways to open it. It has somewhat of a very versatile blade shape. In fact, this blade shape is so good, I could see it being a good option for a lot of knives in a lot of different price points. That compound grind, but still has the belly versus having more of a tanto. A lot of times you see this with a tanto, where this is not. And I get all the sliciness of that hollow grind. It's just a perfect combination of things you might need in a day-to-day. Everything from food prep to tactical. It's got it all kind of covered all in one. I am super impressed. And the action is incredible. They even have a lock bar insert in the titanium. The fit and finish on this just doesn't feel like it should be for $35. It really doesn't. The bead blasted finish on the titanium is really nice. Like, I don't get it. Like, all these companies out here, and there's tons of great value to be found, but this is just on a whole nother level. Enough said, I think, for this video. You're gonna wanna check this one out. I don't know if the prices will ever stay this way, but this is probably the right time to take a look. Yeah, way too much value in this knife. As always, thank you for your time, and we'll talk again soon.